Hello, good to see you again. Thank you for tuning in on this channel. At the last episode, I spoke about maturity, the M, in the acronym for man. Today, I promised I was going to talk about A, accountability. On your quest to becoming a man, on your quest to becoming the man that you were created to be, A, you need to be accountable. Now, the fact that you are accountable does not mean you're a weak man. In fact, it portrays more that you're a strong man. You need to be accountable. And just in a jiffy, I'm going to list 5 people that you're supposed to be accountable to. 5 people you're supposed to be accountable to. Number 1, you have to be accountable to God. The reason you have to be accountable to God is because He made you. He knows those parts of you that no other person knows, even the ones that you don't know. So you have to be accountable with God. And I know that most time one of the things that hinders our accountability as men is that we tend to keep our ego. But the reality is that you stand to lose more when you're not accountable. A lot of men have lost their lives because they are not accountable. A lot of men have become involved in bad business relationships because they were not accountable. It's very important that you and I learn to be accountable. I have lost relationships because I wasn't accountable enough. It breaks my heart anytime I remember, but the reality is that I've learned from that experience. I've lost finances, I've lost money because I wasn't accountable. But what do I do at such moment? I've gone back to, it's been years now, and I've gone back to say, next time I am not going to live my life without being accountable. Accountable every step of the way. So number 1 person you have to be accountable to is God. You have to be accountable to God. Number 2, I will say that you have to be accountable to your wife. Yes, your wife. Yes, the woman you are married to. You have to be accountable to her because she is supposed to be the closest person to you. And the fact that if you don't give account to her, if you are not accountable to her, then you are robbing yourself of a lot of things you are supposed to do, because God had brought her into your life possibly most times to make you a balanced person. So it's important that you are accountable with your wife. Number 3, you have to be accountable to a higher authority, especially the male figure. Please note that we are talking about becoming a man. So when I say number 3, you should be accountable to a higher authority, a male figure in particular, because it takes a man to understand a man. It takes a man to speak the language that men understand. If man is a language, then it's only men that speaks the language. So it's important for you to be accountable to at least one higher authority, somebody who can call you to order. In fact, let me say this: if you are a lady watching this, if you are engaged or about to be married to a man who does not have at least one person that can call into order at any time, please don't marry the man. Why? Because when you have certain issues, there is nobody whose name threatens him. It's very important. So as a man, listen, you have to be accountable to at least one. Bury your pride, swallow your pride, and find that one male figure that you are accountable to. Please note, it doesn't have to be somebody who is far away from you, but there are people all around you whose life you have seen certain things that you like, and they are higher than you. It might be in age, it might be in status, it might be in wisdom, it might be in knowledge, it might be in intellect, it might be on your career path. But find that one person who is of higher authority to you, especially a male figure. Number 4, you have to be accountable to your friends. I like to say this when I get to such points. There must be less than or 30 people in your life that you are accountable to. You need to be accountable to them. People that can look at you straight in your eyeball to eyeball and tell you, boy, you are crazy. And you know that they don't mean any harm. But if you are going to become the man that you were created to be, you need to be accountable to less than or 3 people who are your friends. Friends, people that are just your friend. They are people that are for you. They just love you. They just want to be around you. There are people that if you stop what you are doing with them, maybe business, maybe whatever, maybe volunteerism in an organization, or maybe your workplace and stuff like that, you will still have things to do together. Yes, you need to be accountable to less than or 3 up to people. And number 5, you have to be accountable to your proteges. Because sometimes we don't do what we would have done because we remember that there are people looking up to us. Yes, it's one of the advantages of having proteges. So you have to be accountable to them. So before you take that action, you sit down and think, what am I going to tell so person? How would this person feel when he hears about this? Even though the person is your protege, is lower to you, but being accountable to somebody or people like that. In fact, sometimes I say that you have to be accountable to your children. Let them know where daddy is going. Let them know what is happening. Let them know how daddy is feeling. It's so important. Accountability to your proteges. It's an advantage. So in these 5 to these 5 people, you should be accountable. I take a recap of it. God, your wife, a higher authority, preferably a male figure, your friends, and your proteges. Very important. In what areas are you supposed to be accountable? Number 1, be accountable in your time. Be accountable with your time. Be accountable. Give an up-to-date report about the way you're using your time, because your time is your life. So invariably, I'm saying be accountable with your life. Your time is number 1. Be accountable with your money. Be accountable. Don't just be a make all, spend all. Be accountable step by step. Be accountable. Be able to give at least an analysis of how you spent the money that came into your hand. It's important you're accountable in your finances. Number 3, be accountable with your relationships. There are people that you're not supposed to be their friends. There's people that will lure you into vices that you didn't plan. But it's important that when you are accountable to any of these 5 people, somehow they will prompt you to know that something is wrong somewhere. So with those 3 areas, I will stop at that. So I take a recap of it. Your time, your finances, and your relationships. Be accountable to people. Maybe I should give you a photo. Be accountable with your emotions. Let all these areas know how you feel about things. When the pressure is on your emotions and you are stressed out and things are happening to you in a way that things are nosediving in a way that you can't cope up with, you have to know that it's first an emotional issue. So be accountable with your emotion to all the 5 people I listed that you're supposed to be accountable to. So I take it, the 4 areas in which you're supposed to be accountable. Number 1, your time. Number 2, your money. Number 3, your relationships. And number 4, your emotions. When you're accountable in those 4 areas to those people that I mentioned earlier, you will find out that you are just going to become a better person. So you're on your way to becoming the man that you were really created to be when you are accountable in these dimensions. And I believe that these things are reaching you. Please keep reaching out to us on our social media channels. We love to hear from you, and we are glad for the things, for the likes and everything you have given unto us. I'll see you again at the next episode, where I'm going to talk about neutrality of a man. Thank you so much for watching.